Alright guys, I hope you guys are doing well. As many of you may know, I am from Nigeria. I am from the Igbo tribe of Nigeria. And I live in Trinidad and Tobago, Caribbean. I've been gradually observing a lot of things that have me excited, pleasantly excited. I realized that some of the slangs or words that Caribbean people use actually originated from some tribe in Africa. For example, Jamaica, they use the word unu a lot. I hear that in a lot of Jamaican music. Unu. Sometimes I will hear something that goes unu doom. I'm like, what? Listen, don't tell me that these people are using our language. And that is part of their everyday word.
What's up guys? Welcome once again to my channel. Are Jamaicans really speaking Nigerian Igbo without even knowing it? From words like unu, mumu, pickney, obeah and more, the similarities between Jamaican Patois and the Igbo language are too strong to ignore. Today we are diving deep into the African roots of Jamaica, specifically the Igbo influence that still lives in our words, food, culture, and even personality traits. Stay till the end, because once you hear these connections, you will never hear Patois the same way again.
One day I heard it in another song. I said, no, I want to go research. Now, unu in my tribe means all of you. When they say unu dumbia, meaning all of you come. And when we say unu, it means all of you. When we say unu dum, the dum at the end stresses on the fact that I want all of you to come, that they are calling everyone to come. And Jamaican people use that a lot. I'm like, okay, let me go research. When I did my research, I figured out that unu also mean all of you. I'm like, hold up, how did that happen? Did they borrow it from the tribe? Maybe during the time of slavery, many of their ancestors came with some of their tribal languages. So it keeps showing me that, listen, these people in the Caribbean, especially Afro-Caribbean, truly came from Africa, truly came from Nigeria and the Ghana, especially the Igbo tribes and the Yoruba tribe as well. Caribbean people use the word mumu. Everybody in Nigeria know when you say that guy na mumu, meaning that guy is stupid, he's fool, he's not smart enough. And in the Caribbean, it means the same. Mumu. Come on, man. Hold up. This is becoming more interesting for me, to be honest.
Let's talk about the Igbo influence in Jamaica, specifically Jamaican Patois. One of the major tribes that ended up in Jamaica, or what we now call Jamaica, during the transatlantic slave trade was the Igbo people. They were among other major tribes like the Yoruba people and the Akan people of Ghana. But we're just going to talk about the Igbo influence specifically because that's what I know about. These are just some words that I found that connect Igbo and Jamaican Patois, and it's just really interesting how they're just the same. For example, "soso" in Igbo means only, and apparently in Jamaican Patois they also say "soso" or "soso." I don't know exactly how they say it, but I just know that's the word. It's also interesting how in Latin languages solo also means the same thing. Igbo people call bed bugs chinche, and Jamaicans call them chink. Igbo people say anyuku to describe a greedy person because anyuku literally means big eye. And in Jamaican Patois, they say big eye to describe a greedy person. In Igbo, onuzo literally means the mouth of a door, door mouth. And Jamaicans say door mouth to describe the opening of a door as well. Akara is a bean cake that's eaten in Nigeria and also the Caribbean. And Brazil too. I don't know if y'all know this, but so many Africans who were stolen during the transatlantic slave trade were taken from the region that we now call Nigeria. So it's not shocking when you see a lot of people with Nigerian ancestry when they do a 23andMe or something like that. So ultimately, it all makes sense.
There is no denying the connection between the Igbo descendants of the Caribbean and the Igbos of Nigeria. In this video, my husband and I will do a comparison of some common words that we use in Jamaican Patois that are actually Igbo words that are still being used today. Let's get started.
In Igbo, we say dibia.
In Patois, we say obeah. Them obeah you, my youth. Look like them obeah you or something.
In Igbo, we say okro.
In Patois, we say okra. Yeah, man, I'm gonna put some okra in it. Yeah, put some okra in it.
And then in Igbo, we say poto poto.
In Patois, we say poto poto. Is that rice that's a poto poto, my youth? Rice, poto poto, man. Oh, God. Anyways, guys, those are just some of the words that we use in our patois that are actually Igbo words, and some of them are pronounced the exact same way in Igbo land, and they mean the exact same thing. So as far as the connection between the Igbo descendants in the Caribbean and the Igbos in Nigeria, you be the judge and tell me. The language still exists after over 400 years. That's when the Igbos first landed foot on the island of Jamaica.
Welcome back, guys. Before we break down the words, let's set the stage. During the transatlantic slave trade, thousands of Igbo people were brought to Jamaica. Historians believe Jamaica had one of the largest Igbo population in the Caribbean. That's why you will still find Igbo names in old Jamaican records, Igbo cultural practices that survived, and even villages long ago called things like Igbo Town or Igbo Peace. Jamaicans today might not know the exact history, but the ancestors left fingerprints everywhere. Let's jump into the part you came for. The shared words. Unu. Both in Igbo and Patois, it means you all or all of you. Same pronunciations, same meaning. Mumu. In Igbo, it means foolish or acting silly. In Patois, mumu means someone acting dumb or slow. Jamaicans use it in the exact same context. Pickney or pikin. In Igbo, it's pikin, which means child, and in Patois, it's pickney, which also means child. This word exists in multiple West African languages, but Igbo is one of the main origins. Obeah or obeah. In Igbo, obeah means spiritual practice, shrine or healer, and in Patois, obeah means traditional magic or spiritual work. Even the spiritual systems overlap. Nyam. While found in several West African languages, it's strongly linked to Igbo and Akan. Nyam in Patois is to eat. Nye, nyam, nyam in Igbo also means eat. Wahala. Nigerians today use wahala, and even though the spelling varies, the meaning survived in Jamaica through phrases like no trouble, mix up, and bacchanal. Influenced by multiple languages including Igbo and Yoruba. The connections don't stop at language. Personality and attitudes. Many historians say Jamaican expressions like me na back down, me strong, and the bold confidence that Jamaicans are known for mirror Igbo cultural traits. The food. Some Jamaican dishes share similar names or preparation styles with Igbo cuisine. Fufu. Jamaica call it fufu. Yam traditions. Stews seasoned with pepper and smoked meats. Cassava-based dishes. The music and the rhythm. Traditional Igbo drumming patterns show up in early Jamaican folk music. Their family structure. Communal households, extended family care, and it takes a village all match Igbo norms. Researchers have long pointed out traits like Jamaican proverbs with matching Igbo versions, the Jamaican ring game similar to Igbo moonlight games, funeral traditions like Nine Night which resemble Igbo morning rituals. The connections go deeper than vocabulary. They are cultural, emotional, and historical. So, are Jamaicans speaking Igbo without knowing it? Not fully. Jamaican Patois is a mix of many influences: English, Akan, Yoruba, Igbo, and more. but the Igbo fingerprints are definitely there. If you are a Jamaican, a Nigerian, or from anywhere in the diaspora, drop a word you know that connects the two cultures. And if you want more videos breaking down history, language, and culture, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.